to the Strawberry Loli channel. Let me see if I can make this slightly lower. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I just had soup, so my throat is a little raspy. Hello, good day. How is everyone doing? I thought I would just hop on here very quickly and show you guys my empties for pretty much like the second half of 2025. This is not everything that I used, obviously, but it's the main products. So hold on, give me 1 second. Let me just make sure my settings are correct. Oh, God. Why don't they just permanently let me change my settings? Okay, so I just have here in this Zootopia 2 bag, I don't know if you can tell, there's Nick and Judy and Gary the snake. We love Gary. So yeah, these are my main empties from 2025, I guess, the ones that I thought were noteworthy. So first up is the Amuse Amuse Dew Power Vegan Cushion. And this was the Tan Hello Kitty collaboration with this super cute Hello Kitty puff to go along with it. This was, I have to say, a very good cushion for glass skin. But as you all know, I'm kind of like cooled off on cushion foundations for the moment, just because I feel like the longevity is just not there. I prefer to go back to liquids at the moment. Yeah. Even though it's very convenient, obviously, if you're like traveling or something. But this one in particular, though, I do feel like it lasted longer than a lot of other cushions that I've tried. Like I felt that, oh, you know why? It's because of the style of the cushion, right? It's kind of just a knitting at the top, and then I guess they were able to put more product in this than the traditional sponge. So like, for example, wow, sorry, something was stuck to the one. But yeah, this would be like a traditional cushion, right? You see the sponge in there, but this one has just, oh my God. Why is this stand so weak? Okay, there we go. So yeah, this one has a netting across the top, and this one is a sponge. So I feel like the sponge cushions always start to run out before even the 2-week mark. If I use it every day with daily use, it starts to get dry by the 2-week mark. And then I don't know, it just, I mean, obviously you can still dig in there and do your best to get the product out, but I thought the whole point of the cushion was the convenience of just being able to dip in with the sponge applicator or the puff and cover your whole face that way. So yeah, anyway, I'm rambling, but as far as cushion foundations go, this one had pretty good longevity. Why is it still not straight? Okay, this one had pretty good longevity, but I would not repurchase just because I have my foundation from Maybelline, the Fit Me tint that I'm working on right now. So once that one is done, I'll see what I will do for future foundations. Then I have, most of these are just like my holy grails that I've gone through countless iterations of throughout pretty much the past 10, 12 years. But the Etuse Point Makeup Remover for the eyes, this one is really great. It's like oil-based, so you just shake it up, and then I like to remove my eye makeup usually first, like eyes and eyebrows, before removing the rest of my face. So this one is really good. And then I have not one, not two, not three, but four. Wait, is it? Yeah, four of the Nivea Deep Moisture Olive and Lemon Flavor Lip Balm. This is my absolute favorite of all time. And everyone is into the DHC lip balm right now. I feel like that's the one that's really trending on social media as far as Japanese lip care goes. I tried it for myself and I don't know where mine went, but I don't like how that one has, I don't know, like I don't really see the hype, to be honest with you guys. I think this one is far superior because the one from DHC, it's kind of like a harder formulation. And when it comes to lip care or just lip products in general, I don't really appreciate a hard or a stiff formulation. Anything that requires me to really apply a lot of pressure when I'm applying it to my lips, I feel like, you know, I don't want to put my lips under duress and prematurely age them. So that's why I like these, because this is like, you can probably tell from the design too, it's like very melty, very smooth, and you don't have to apply pressure. You just swipe it lightly across your lips and it's super moisturizing and nourishing. Yeah, I feel like the DHC one, I don't know, maybe it does nourish and last for a long time on the lips. I did find that I didn't have to reapply the DHC as much as other lip creams. But this one is also, this is really good. Like you don't have to reapply. But yeah, I think this one should go viral, not the DHC. Anywho, moving along. So I have the Can Make Powder Cheeks A in PO2. Completely panned, hello. Except for this little bit on the side here, but it's pretty much 99% gone. And this one is, yeah, this was PO2. I think it was a more lilac-y shade. Right now I'm working on finishing the 40th anniversary shade, this one. This one was more like either lilac-y or just a lighter pink, and this one is a darker pink. And then when I finish this one, I will probably repurchase, but I'm not gonna buy any more Can Make blushes until I finish this one. I was gonna say blushes in general, but yeah, I don't know if I want to say that out loud yet. Well, it would be really cool if I could really just stick to like a no buy unless it's absolutely an essentials program this year. Just because I'm in that mode of, you know, I don't want to contribute to the over-consumerism, and I would rather just use up all the things that I already have in my collection, especially considering that I have a lot of good products, okay? I feel like, a really good mix of Japanese, Korean, Chinese, and Western. Obviously, there's always more that I want. There's always newer, exciting products, eyeshadow palettes that I have my eye on, but the truth of the matter is every time I shop my stash, though, I'm never disappointed, and I'm never really lacking for anything. For if I want to do like a different look, I never really feel like, oh, I'm missing this or that. It's just a matter of me not being lazy and actually shopping my stash to find what I need in the moment. So, sorry, I should have gone in order. I should have tried to group them together, but this one as well, the Amuse, this is also part of the Amuse and Tan Hello Kitty collection. It was the Gel Fit Tint in number 10, Peach Baby. This one was okay. I don't really typically like these Korean lip tint formulations on their own. They're too thin for my taste. But this one, usually if I put this over, hold on, I have another empty. So if I put this or any other thinner lip tint over the YSL Candy Glaze Love Shine lip gloss, this is just well, you can't see it now because it's gone, but this is like my third tube of the YSL, by the way. But it's just kind of like a plumper, clear plumper, and the actual color of the tube is a very light pink, but it goes on your lips clear, and I feel like it really does a good job of smoothing out the wrinkles and the unevenness in your lips. So I'll typically put this on underneath as a base if I'm going to use a lip tint like this over it. And unfortunately, I do feel like there is a little bit of product left, as you can see, inside the tube, but unfortunately this one is starting to smell a little funky, so I think it's time to let it go. It's so cute though. We love tan Hello Kitty in this house. All right, not too much more, honestly. My Etuse Face Edition Skin Base for oily skin. This is the primer that I use all the time, pretty much. Every single time I do my makeup. Does a great job of just mattifying and evening. It's not super matte, so don't worry. Like, I feel like it still would work if you have drier skin, but it just smooths out and mattifies and makes an even canvas for you to apply your makeup on. And it also really does a good job of controlling like the oil, in my case at least, controlling the oil in this T-zone area, so that like I notice that whenever I don't use this base, or if I use another skin primer that is not necessarily tailored towards mattifying my face, this part gets like really overly shiny throughout the day. So this is really good for oil control, I feel like. And then this one, my RMK Eyebrow Powder Compact. This is just too old at this point. I feel like I've been using this for 5 years straight. So I already have my new one that I have been using already for a couple of months. The exact same palette. But I decided that the old one had to go when I started to notice that the powder started to go on patchier than normal. So I think, yeah, it's time to say goodbye because it's just so old. And as you can see, I pretty much already have both of the darker shades. So this is the new one, and the powder is more cooperative, you know, fresher, goes on more even. It's what I'm wearing on my brows today and every other day when I do makeup. So I think it's time to say goodbye to this. Look, it's like the silver coating is wearing off on the sides. And then I swear I had more, but I guess anyway, can make plum puka coordinate eyes in N1 Neo 1. I pretty much finished the entire left panel here, so yeah, I feel like there's no point in keeping the whole palette because I have several other ones that I'm already using anyway, and I feel like if any of this palette is completely used up, it kind of, you know, there's really no purpose in holding on to it, because once you get another palette, you will get a full-sized refill of all the other shades as well, right? So I think I can let go of this. And this one is NO2. I prefer this one out of all of the color variations from the Plum Puka Coordinate Eyes line, because this one is like the brightest one and the pinkiest, which I like, especially for photos and videos and stuff. Then my eyelash opera mascara. I think this one, I was trying to actually keep track of when I started, but look at how the Sharpie wore off. So now I don't even know. No, I think wait a minute. I think I used this for definitely over 4 months. like the better half of the second half of 2025. Um, I'm trying to do better with, like, okay, what do you guys think when it's to expiration dates on makeup? Because I am of two minds. Half of me thinks that it's a total scam and it's just a way for these companies to convince us to spend more on their products unnecessarily. But the other half of me feels like you should probably err on the side of caution when it comes to something like mascara that goes so close to your eyes, right? Like, we don't play about our eyes over here. But then at the same time, it's like, it doesn't smell that bad, but yeah, it's time to let it go. But see, look, there's still product on it. So, like, if I really wanted to, I probably could still continue using this for several more months. So, what do you guys think? I definitely, okay, you know what? Let's come to a compromise. I definitely don't think the 3-month rule that the industry pushes stands for mascara. I definitely think you can use it for at least 6 months without it going bad or fear of getting pink eye or whatever. I mean, unless, it depends, right? Like, I'm just thinking about if you live in a really hot climate, for example, and then like you leave your makeup at home all day in the 90-degree heat, then yeah, maybe you might want to be more careful with liquid products. Or you could get a beauty fridge. You could be bougie like that. But you know, not everyone has that in their budget. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go by my rule of thumb that I usually employ anyway, which is that which is basically the smell test. Like, if it smells like something's wrong or something's off, then I'm gonna toss it. Um, but if it smells okay and it looks okay and there's no like immediate adverse reactions that I'm experiencing, then I'm just gonna keep using it and ignore the industry suggestion. Because I truly feel like, I'm in this kind of awakening period in my life where I'm waking up to the fact that basically everything is a scam, and we can get into that in another video. But yeah, everything is a scam and I don't trust anyone or anything, definitely not any PR curated statement from a company or an industry anymore. Like, I only trust myself and the people in my immediate community that have been vetted and approved by me. I only trust like my own research and the balanced, you know, educated opinions, educated guesses of experts before me that have a proven track record of being right about things. Next up, I have the Mish Blooming eyelash glue. And I wish that this lasted longer because there's more product left in it, and I feel like it would be fine except for the fact that the glue just tends to get really goopy and congealed after a long period of time, which makes sense because you're constantly opening and taking it out, exposing it to air. So of course it's going to get more viscous as time goes on. But yeah, I wish I could actually, there was a way to actually use up every single last drop of this glue. But nevertheless, this is not even that expensive anyway. So I think it was like 900 yen plus tax. So I have a new one already. This is my favorite one because this one has like super strength hold without irritating my eyes. There was the D Up eyelash glue that I used to use several years ago. That one used to be my holy grail. But after a while, it was kind of weird because after several years of use, all of a sudden, one day, it started to really irritate my eyes. And like every time, even after I would thoroughly remove all my eye makeup and makeup at the end of the day, I would still feel like my eyelids where the glue was would feel raw and painful the next day, and they would be red and stuff too. So this is actually, I have like a mini one left over, but this used to be my go-to eyelash glue, the D Up eyelash fixer in 552. But yeah, this one is a little, I feel like the chemicals or whatever in this are a little too strong for my taste. Mish Blooming gets the exact same job done. It has the exact same amount of hold without the hurt caused to my eyes. Yeah, I'm very, very like weary when it comes to things that go near my eyes, as we all should be, I think, you know. Nobody's trying to go blind over here. But what else? I had one more. Oh, I have this Shuamura Classic eyelash curler, which I'm kind of confused about, like, what happened to this, because I remember this used to be the industry standard eyelash curler. It still is in my mind. I've never since I first used it in high school, which was like 20 years ago by now. I have never once found a single other eyelash curler that can even measure up close to this. But like the way that it curls around your lashes and gives you a really, really, you know, sharp lift, no other eyelash curler has been able to do. But I feel like they used to be everywhere, and even like a couple years ago when I would go into Donkey, sometimes they would have baskets of just the Shuamura eyelash curler on sale for like 800 yen or something super cheap. Because these are, I remember, okay, I have no idea what the retail price is now, but when I first, you know, discovered these, they retailed on the Shuamura site for $20 a pop, or like 2,000 yen each. But now it's like 2,600 yen or something crazy like that. And I can't find it in discount places like Don Quixote anymore. And I feel like I low-key couldn't even find it on the official website anymore. I had to get it through like Amazon or some third party. So I don't know what's going on. Did they discontinue this, or are they just taking a break, or are people just like not buying eyelash curlers anymore because everyone's getting extensions? But yeah, I have a new one. And I also, while we're here, I would like to ask for your opinion about eyelash curlers, because I've seen people claim that they used the exact same curler for like a decade, going on a decade. The only thing they switch out is this rubber part here. But then it's like, I thought that you were supposed to throw away the actual curler after maybe a couple of months max, because I don't know, like the mechanism gets loose or whatever. I mean, I can see if the thing is, like, I feel like the Shuamura rubber insert as well. I feel like this is also part of why the entire product works so well, because the other brands of eyelash curlers that I've tried, I feel like not only did the mechanism itself not work that well, but the rubber insert was also not as good as the Shuamura one. I don't know if this is completely placebo effect. So it's like you can't buy, as far as I know, you cannot buy a pack of just refills of this anyway from Shuamura. So I always just grew up like replacing the entire, they give you one extra, right, with each eyelash curler from Shuamura. So I always threw away the entire curler after I used up both of the rubber insert. After I used up both of the inserts that came in the box, I would just throw away the entire curler and buy a new one. But I know people out there that swear that they've been using like the same metal curler for years and years, and they just replace the rubber part with like a generic brand. So I don't know. Me personally though, I just wanted a fresh start for 2026. So I got this one. Oh, this was off of Yes Style. I remember now because I was using my commission points to get it. Thank you, by the way, to everyone that uses my Yes Style code. But yeah. And that's it. That's all I have. Definitely more things that I used up and got rid of near the tail end of 2025, but these were the most significant. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 14 items in total. Oops. Oh my god. Wait. No, I got them mixed up. Which one is the old one? And which one is the new? Oh my god. No, this one is the old one because it has more grime I can see on the edges, and this one is still pretty clean. Okay, so yeah, those are my empties from 2025, and hopefully I can do a lot more empties videos this year because I'm not kidding, okay? I'm not going to be buying more makeup unless it's something that I really need. Because makeup is too expensive, okay? They're playing in my... I feel like they're playing in our faces at this point, and I'm just not impressed anymore. I don't care how cute the new palette or blush or whatever that comes out is. Why is it like $20 for a single blush or a single eyeshadow? Or like one... Why is like one palette from Dayseek like 3,000 yen? Nobody has time for that. Okay, I can buy an entire carton box of cat food for Maxine for 3,000 yen. Actually, no, more like 6,000 yen. So why is everything so expensive? Why is life? But yeah, let me see. I think that's all I have for today. How do you guys feel about this look? I originally wanted to do a cold girl type look, you know, like a I'm freezing type of look, but then it kind of turned into Barbie, which I'm not mad at, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. So if this is Barbie, I'm gonna have to redo the cold girl aesthetic look another day. And I don't know about these lashes, but I had them lying around, so I thought I might as well use them. But yeah, I wanted to practice this little... Your eyeshadow's stunning. Oh, thank you so much, Erica. I wanted to practice this shape in my eyes because the thing about my eyes is that I feel like they're really weirdly shaped. So even techniques that like I know I can do them if I just practice, but chances are if I follow a tutorial for like a cut crease look like this, for example, right? Usually when it comes to my eyes, because of the shape, like it kind of is flat on the bottom and then it's like rounded at the top. So it's almost like a half dome, right? It's not like almond shaped the way that most people's eyes are, or round. It's like straight at the bottom and then you know. So yeah, like for example, when people do cut creases, usually if you have an almond shaped eye or like a round eye, you literally just kind of, you know, follow the curve of your eye and then you would cut out a little portion in the inner corner and like do your thing with the lighter shadow. But for me, it's like I have to over correct or over calculate for how much um I don't know how to explain it. I have to make the I have to make the eyeshadow go up consciously so that like when I relax my eyes, it looks straight. You know what I mean? Like the blue part, when I'm actually applying it, I have to flick it at an upward angle. Whereas most people with a more uh, normal or generic eye shape, they would just follow the curve of their eye. But because my eye is like shaped in this way, I need to balance things out by taking the color up and higher as I go closer into the inner part, so that, yeah, because I have hooded eyes too, so then like when my eyes are open and my hoods are relaxed and down, now you can still see the blue pop through and it looks like it's straight, but it's actually not, because if I close my eyes you can see that, oh, she angled them up. So it's fun, like it's a fun process to experiment and whatnot, but it just blows my mind sometimes like how different everyone's features can be, how personable makeup can be, and just the fact that like even me when I was a lot younger, like 10 plus years ago, I might have had the tendency to feel like, oh, it's my fault, you know, like I'm just not good at makeup, or things just don't look flattering on me. But that's like not the case. You just have to find the shape and the technique that works for your particular features. So I'm glad that more people are catching on to this as we move into like, I don't know, the end days of social media. But yeah, I'm glad that more people are like gaining confidence with experimenting with their own face through makeup because of the beauty community on social media, because it would not be possible without people with a lot of, people with unique and different features sharing their own techniques online to help other girls or other women that have similar features. So like, but it's crazy because like even I feel like even for me, it's hard for me to find somebody that has the same eye shape. I don't think I really look like anyone. This is something weird that the other day, because you know how some people like there are certain faces that look, I don't want to say generic. Like there's beautiful people, but their faces kind of have like a category of its own. So like Angelina Jolie, for example, right? She's beautiful, but I feel like you could find so many girls on TikTok, for example, who kind of look like an exact prototype of the Jolie type. Or like even I guess like for Asian girls, who's a really popular K-pop idol right now. Like Rose or Lisa, the girls from Blackpink, you could find probably if you searched like Lisa lookalikes, or what's the other one? Jenny lookalikes, you could find like a whole slew of girls that look like her who are influencers on TikTok. But for me, I'm like, who do I even resemble? Nobody can really point to any celeb. People have told me in the past, they have like insisted on random Japanese or Korean celebrities, but then when I go to look up their picture, I'm like, no, no offense, but that girl looks nothing like me. I look nothing like her. Where did you get that idea? And it kind of freaks me out because I'm like, are you just fully in your delulu? Like, are we inhabiting alternate timelines right now? Because I think, it's very possible that like lots of people, especially men, men are stupid, right? So they don't really think about the details of things. It's like, okay, I remember 12-ish years ago. This was when I first came to Japan. I don't know why I decided to do this. It was a really stupid idea because it ruined my hair, but I wanted to have that bleached blonde, like white blonde look, right? So I destroyed my hair by going into the salon like 3 times in order to achieve that super white blonde look. And then I remember this old Japanese guy told me that, oh, you look like Carrie Pyamu Pyamu. I don't know if you guys remember, but she was really big at the time, and like she had blonde hair. We have nothing in common features wise. It was just the fact that I had short blonde hair at the time and it kind of matched her hairstyle, I guess. So that's like the only reason why this old Japanese guy thought, or he was like, oh, you look like Carrie, or what's her name? Carrie? Carrie. Carrie Pamu Pamu, yeah. And I was like, no, I don't. Like, not at all. We don't have the same face whatsoever. So I feel like guys don't know what they're talking about. But I had a female photographer, though, recently tell me that I looked like Hirose Suzu, which I also never heard of because I don't keep up with Japanese celebrities or any celebrities really. But I don't see it here. I'm going to show you guys the search results. This is Hirose Suzu, right? Okay, remember this image, and then I'm going to flip the camera. It's like what you see on Temu versus what you get in the mail. No, I'm not gonna put myself down like that, but like I don't look like her, right? We can agree on this. But I don't know, maybe she was just trying to be nice and flatter me, but I really don't need that. Like I like the fact that I look unique, but it's kind of weird to me though. I'm like, how is it that some people just fit a certain archetype of a certain kind of face? Like even, okay, Margot Robbie, right? If you go on TikTok and you search for Margot Robbie lookalikes, there'll be like hundreds of white blonde girl influencers that have the same exact facial features and facial build as her. But I feel like in my case, there's really just no one. Yeah, I don't look like this girl at all. Hirose Suzu. I got a random girl from a K-pop group once too. I feel like that one was closer to me. I forget her name though. I think it was like Kana or something. I don't know. Okay, I think I might sign off now. Did you guys hear the news that gold prices went up to $5,000 recently, which is supposedly the highest it's ever been? That's great for people who bought gold back in the day. Yeah, I really have to educate myself on investments and stuff this year. Oh, for the gold price jumps above 5,000 an ounce for the first time amidst the Trump turmoil. What did Trump do this time? Donald Trump made chaotic policies and proclamations to drive more investors to seek safe harbor in the precious metal. Oh, the moment came after Trump threatened Canada with 100% tariffs if Ottawa made a deal with China, blah blah. Oh yeah, I heard about this. Yeah. I don't know, like I don't want to feed into, fear mongering or anything. I refuse to live in fear. Okay, we're gonna be out here living our best lives, twerking, cuddling with our kittens, all the things. Even if the house is burning down, like I don't care. We're going out with a bang. But I do have to admit, it's kind of scary these days. Like when you turn on the news, that's why I try to avoid reading the news, but then I don't want to be completely ignorant either, so I just pay attention here and there to a few headlines. But then again, I remember also that everything is a scam, so I'm like, wait, do I even trust that the headlines being fed to me are indicative of the actual state of the world? No, I don't trust it. Because who is behind all of this? There must be a reason that it must be pre-selected, whatever they are sending to our feeds for us to read, right? Like it's all pre-selected. It's all being force-fed to us without our realization even. Not to be totally nihilistic or pessimistic, but seriously though, if you just open your eyes and stop lying to yourself for a minute, you'll see that this is pretty just the way that the world has always been set up. So it's kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of unsettling. Like I don't really know what to do. I'm just one person, obviously, but I feel like I was hopeful for 2026, but I also don't want to speak too soon. But anyway, okay, I will catch you guys later. Yeah, I have a few more topics up my sleeves. Oh, I need to debrief you on the grand finale of the beauty pageant that I was in on January 4th. I'm very over it mentally, so it's gonna take a little bit of effort for me to like get back into that headspace, but I do think there are some important takeaways that I've learned or that I took away from this entire process. So very, very fascinating experience. I'm very glad that I participated last year. Would I do it again? Not unless... Okay, short answer is probably no. Like 90% no, just because it was way too powerful of a pendulum in terms of, like, it just extracted way too many resources from me than what I feel comfortable with or than what I really, approve of for myself. It was like very, very, it was a very boundary crossing experience. in the sense that I felt that my boundaries were overstepped too many times. But then, in the end, obviously, I conceded to those oversteppings in order to, like, once I saw that I had a good shot to win a Grand Prix, I took a bet, right? Because I saw that there was a good chance that I could win. So, thankfully it paid off in my case. I did win something, and I have like a bunch of random supplements and collagen drinks now as my prize. So that counts for something. But I think I think it was very interesting. It was very fascinating the way that the whole thing went down in the final week, really the final few days, because it wasn't really clear until I would say like literally 2 days before. Or no, it was yeah, like January 2nd. That's when it really became clear to me that it was obvious who was going to win in each section, including the one, like, including for me, the probability of me winning something. Um, so it was an amazing exercise in, like, dare I say, war strategy in sense. So I'm kind of tickled at the fact that, like, I pulled off what I set out to do, and that I was able to do it by pretty much micro adjusting my strategy up until the last minute. And then if you contrast like my experience with this other girl, which I'll also get into in the next live, but if you contrast my experience with a girl who didn't end up winning the Grand Prix, but she put in way, way more resources and sacrificed way more than I did throughout the entire year for this pageant, it just reveals so much about the truths of, like, the actual truths of power dynamics in any particular organization or a situation, and how you need to, how not understanding those power dynamics before going into something like this can really, really be detrimental to you in the end. And it can, in that process, also, you become more and more emotionally susceptible and vulnerable as well. Like, you become more dependent on false hope, which the organization, or whoever's trying to extract resources and money from you, they can then sense that when you slip into that state, and then they'll use that against you, right? By feeding you more false hope as the stakes get higher and higher, as the date of the contest draws nearer, um, to the point where the organization, the ones holding the most power, are able to extract the most power out of you, but then you lose out the most in the end. You meaning, like, I'm talking about this one girl in particular who lost out on the Grand Prix, and then yeah, she lost out the most in the end, because it's kind of like a snowball effect, and it's very scary. This is why, like, it's very important to understand the dynamics of power before you go into any organization, or just in general any attempt to social climb or expand your network. You have to be very alert, like, the entire time, truly, and constantly be taking mental notes of what you observe, in terms of, like, okay, who's in charge of what, who actually has pull in whatever category. And, like, you have to, this is why detachment is so important, right? Because if you get too caught up in your own, ego, or whatever you want to call it, it's very, very tempting to give into and latch on to the idea that, well, if I just work hard enough, if I just prove myself enough to the people in charge, then they'll reward me for being such a hard worker and being such a team player, right? No, no, no. That is not how it works in this world at all. In any organization, any industry, any level, that's completely not how it goes. So, very fascinating. But I will talk about that tomorrow, because it's 4 a.m. and I'm really trying to get on a semi-normal sleep schedule these days. So yeah, I will catch you next time. Bye. How do I stop this? Oh my goodness. Wait, how do I stop the live? I'm so confused. Ah, okay.